That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to Movie Trailer Trash.
Hello.
We've been away for a while because we've been sick and vacationing and all sorts of stuff.
We warned you.
We did warn you.
About the vacations, the sickness.
Yeah,
know,
so you're going to be hearing a lot of coughing.
that just happened.
A lot of sniffling.
Hopefully not.
Well, yeah, hopefully
We've
we can
taken precautions to
move
try
away.
and help. Oh, by the way, I'm Bethany.
I'm Charlie.
And this is Movie Trailer Trash, as Charlie said.
And we just watched the trailer for Red Sparrow, which is an upcoming Jennifer Lawerence vehicle that is based on a book. I think it's a trilogy of books. It is a...
Don't we have to, do our intro?
What?
The intro music?
No, we already did it.
Oh, I thought you'd do that after we do this.
See, it's just like riding a bike. We're right back into it, and it's smooth sailing.
Normally we do something, then there's this song, and then there's this.
Yeah, but I told you, I said, do you
Okay,
want to do
okay,
anything beforehand?
Let's do it. I didn't realize.
You nut.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I don't even remember how to do this.
Okay, so back to what Charlie was saying
Yeah,
about
what
the
was I
Red
saying
Sparrow movie.
before I was
Books.
aggressively shaken from the trail?
Books.
Books. This is based on a book, on a series of books, I think.
Okay.
And it is written by Jason Matthews. The book is on the same name, Red Sparrow. And it's essentially a spy book that combines a whole bunch of different spy stories that we've seen before. The book came out in 2014 and won a bunch of awards for different things, and apparently was a very big seller. And so essentially what's happening is the character that Jennifer Lawerence is playing, who has a name that is hard to pronounce because it is Russian.
Russian, yeah.
She was somehow tricked or forced into working or becoming a super secret seducing spy agent
Red
person
Sparrow,
who also kills people and stuff like that. And from the looks of this trailer, it looks like she is going to meet someone who is going to be a target of hers, who helps her escape this and maybe even get revenge.
So the concept is that she wanted to help her mother get medical attention, and so she said she would seduce some guy, but she didn't realize they were going to kill him. And when they killed him, they were like, we can't have any witnesses to this murder, so either you can become one of us or we can kill you.
Yeah, something like that.
That's exactly like that. That's literally what she says in the trailer.
Yes, exactly that.
I don't know why you said something like that.
Exactly that.
And so she's kind of trapped is the point. She would be killed if she left. And in the trailer, the American...
Joel Edgerton.
Seems to be telling her that,
who has a very
you're never going to be able to escape them.
Rectangular head and face. His I think what it is about his head and face is that his face fills up the entire front side of his head.
I don't know why, but I don't remember what he looks like, and we just watched this a minute ago.
Yeah,
so he must be very forgettable to me.
Yeah,
I must not have been looking.
He's got an interesting looking face.
I must have been too focused on Jennifer Lawrence's bathing suit.
Oh man,
I didn't notice his face.
It's hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, she's wearing a nice bathing suit. It's cool. It's like a one piece, but it's all cut out and stuff.
Yeah,
looking fly, girl.
Looking fly.
I'm also loving some of those wigs she's wearing.
You like the platinum white?
I love the platinum
wig?
with the bangs.
Yeah,
and the fur coat. I want that look.
Well, you have to move to Russia where it's necessary.
Yeah. Oh God. Ugh. Talk about miserable.
Russia.
But okay. So a couple things. A friend of mine said that, oh man, this looks terrible, and Jennifer Lawrence's accent is terrible. Now I'm no expert on Russian, by any means, but it sounded fine to me.
Here's the thing, I've decided to not care about it at all anymore when someone's doing an accent, unless
if they're doing a good job acting.
If they're doing a good job acting, and also especially other accents that I can't tell the subtleties in.
Yeah.
So unless it's Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Well, I was gonna say,
or if
we didn't care about him.
Well, yeah, and truthfully, I don't really care about that either. It's just funny. But the whole thing's supposed to be
I never thought
funny.
of the fact that he had a bad accent. I just thought he was a goofy guy.
Well, yeah, because you were a little kid.
No, but even as I got older, I'm he just seems like a goofy guy. Like, it didn't seem like somebody who didn't have a good accent. It seemed like somebody who had an accent and also was a goofball.
Well, the whole thing is essentially a real-life cartoon.
I mean, he's just being Cockney, right?
But, yeah, like, over the top.
Well, that's funny.
But, like, if I notice it when it's a British person or Australian person doing an American accent,
Yeah.
and they're British or
Slips
Australian
out.
slips out. And so I noticed that, but I also don't really care about that either.
If they're good at acting.
Yeah,
That's
we're all
what it
just
really
trying to have
comes
a
down
good
to.
time, everybody.
That's what it really comes down to.
And also, she kind of sounds like the bad guys from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
yeah.
And that's
Maybe
what
that's
I
why
base,
I'm like, it's cool.
That's what I
It
base
sounds
my
good to
Russian
me.
accent knowledge on.
Well, listen, for those of you who don't know, Charlie and I saw the movie The Foreigner.
Oh, yeah.
We also talked about it on our podcast. If you want to go
Multiple
back
times.
and listen to our episode on it, we're big Jackie Chan fans.
We're Jackie Fan Chans.
Jackie Chan fans. And one of the things is when we were watching that movie, Pierce Brosnan is in it, a major character in it, probably more of a major character than Jackie Chan even, and he has an Irish accent in it.
Irish accent.
And afterwards we were talking about the movie, we liked it, we were talking about what we liked, what we didn't like and stuff, and I said, was that a bad Irish accent or not? Because I couldn't tell.
And I was like, I have no
I don't
idea.
know. And I was like, I think it sounded good, but it was weird seeing
And
Pierce
again,
Brosnan
my
with
Irish accent,
an Irish accent.
knowledge comes from the Lucky Charms guy.
Exactly. And so it was just funny because we were like, oh, well, I guess if we couldn't tell, whatever. But it did take me back. I was surprised by it. Well, Charlie just found out,
Yeah, I heard it on another podcast.
apparently, Pierce Brosnan is Irish.
Yeah. So that's just his real
Did
voice.
you ever verify that?
Well, they looked it up on their show.
Okay, so we trust them.
Yeah, I trust them.
What show?
Weekly Planet.
Might as well give them a shout out.
The
Shout.
Weekly Planet.
So thanks for that podcast for giving us a tidbit about something that's interesting to us. So apparently it was good.
Yeah, I guess. I
I
think
guess.
I'm guessing he nailed it.
It's just so funny because I never really hear Irish accents very often, especially in men. I feel like a lot of female Irish women are actors. Female Irish women.
Female Irish women.
But it was weird sounding to me.
That and also to just go off the rails a little bit,
we're getting into accents.
we watched
moving
The
on.
Circle, and
Yes.
it's Emma Watson is doing a American accent, and it's fine. And but the weird one is her friend.
Amy.
Yeah.
Is that her
Carrie
name?
Gillian
Or Annie is her
Karen
name.
Gillian or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
actress has a crazy super heavy Scottish or
Yeah.
I think
think
it was Scottish. And I didn't know that about her because she's in the new Jungle Book, I think.
She is?
Yeah,
Huh.
or not Jungle Book. Sorry, Jumanji.
I was like, I'm confused. Oh my gosh, is it that girl? That's crazy. The redhead in Jumanji? We haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet. But
And I doubt that she has a really thick Scottish accent in that.
no, yeah, I think I knew that girl was Scottish. I feel like I've seen her in something else.
And now I feel like I want to look it up.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if several of our listeners saw The Circle recently because it just came out on, was it Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny thing is, my friend who doesn't like
Scottish.
Jennifer Lawrence's accent also watched The Circle this weekend too. I was like, whoa, what are the chances? And she was like, well, it did just come out on streaming.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to, make her, just give her the accent that the actress has, because she didn't have that accent. She wasn't Scottish in the book, was she?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't think they specified. That book wasn't extremely detailed.
Anyway, let's get back to Red Sparrow.
Okay, Red Sparrow.
All right, so-
accents, whatever.
Accents,
We're okay
whatever.
with it.
Yeah, we fine.
We fine.
We good. We fine. We
Moving on.
are here to
So,
have fun.
Can we talk about Jennifer Lawrence
Moose
just as
and
an
squirrel.
actress? So for a second, when I heard about this movie, I was told it's like if they were to do a Black Widow movie,
Yes.
but it's not a part of the Marvel universe. So I mean, I think that's a pretty good description of it, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
there's
pretty
a lot.
obviously.
But it's like if she decided to get
seduction and spy and beating people up and killing them.
It's like if she decided to get revenge on the organization
Which
that
would
turned
be
her into whatever.
awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And so I
but-
mean, it's obviously not going to be as fun as a Black Widow
No,
movie
not by
would
any
be,
means, but that
or
would be awesome.
as also I would even say don't go into this thinking that it's going to be an action movie in any way.
Well, yeah, and I was going to get to that. Well, first of all, you in particular, Charlie, are not a big Jennifer Lawrence fan, right?
I guess.
Is that fair to say? There have
she
been
doesn't
times
make
where
any
you've
movies
literally
that I like.
There have been times literally where I've said her name and you've gone, ugh.
Well, I mean, it was just because all I knew her from.
She blew up real big all of a sudden.
Yeah, she was super, super
Here's the thing.
popular,
She
and
did
everyone
Winter's
loved
Bone.
her because she
Great. She
liked
did Silver Linings Playbook.
food.
Great. She's fun and down to earth. Great.
And
But-
maybe she's
but
fun and down
then-
to earth.
She is.
She might just be doing that.
Nobody would try. It would take way too much effort to pretend you're fun and down to earth if you weren't down to earth.
I feel like she makes a lot of effort to mention food in every little appearance that she makes.
Yeah, but I have friends like that, and that's because that's who they are.
They make a lot of appearances?
No. They're like going out of the way to be like, I love food.
Well, yeah, but she does it purposely on camera. Like, I bet if you're talking to her,
guarantee
she's
you-
not like,
I guarantee you I have friends that would do that if they were famous as well. Because they always talk about food. Let's get off. We're guessing whether or not this person is being real for us. And we already know that several people we didn't know were just terrible sexual assaulters. So we can't
is
assume we know
true.
anything about actors. But nonetheless, I'm saying she made a couple good movies. She made Winter's Bone. She made Silver Linings Playbook. And I would even go ahead and throw her into X-Men. The X-Men movies she was all right in.
she's better in Hunger
They were
Games
fine.
than in X-Men.
Oh, thank you. Couldn't even remember that one.
Yeah,
Hunger Games.
I think her being
What,
an
what?
X-Men is one of the reasons I don't like her. But that might just be because I didn't like the way they
But
did Mystique in the X-Men movies.
The thing that I think pushed me into the not liking her was American Hustle, because I
Yeah.
hated that movie so much. And it's interesting because it got good reviews. All of my family liked it. A lot of my friends liked it. And so I watched it with a friend, and Charlie watched it with his family when he was out of town. And separately, we both came to the conclusion that that movie was so boring.
It was.
It was awful. But she was one of the only bright spots in it. But I feel like ever since then, when I
Yeah.
see her, I just think of that.
That movie, although awful, has a great part in it with Bradley Cooper and Louis C.K.
Yeah,
who-
they're great. I mean, but they were great.
who we
together
mentioned
in that.
earlier
Yes.
indirectly.
Anyway, the point is, the thing I think that you used to say about her is that she just screams and cries. And she's
No,
good
you
at
say
screaming and
that.
crying.
You say that about her whenever I
Okay.
complain about her. And
But she
I
is good at
think-
screaming and crying. But
I think she has to be really all into something in order for it to be any good at all, is what I think. Because when I've seen her in other things...
well, I think that's why she's good in Winter's Bone,
Hunger
Games, Silver Linings
yeah.
Playbook. But that's why she's not good in
X-Men. And
But I like
maybe
the
American
movies.
Hustle, and then
Yeah,
that
she's good in
Passengers
American
movie that
Hustle.
came out, which
That's
was
probably
clearly
awful. That looks
very
awful.
thrown together in every single way.
That one with Bradley Cooper that nobody knows the name of.
Joy.
Oh, Joy. See, that's the one where it looked like they just were like, oh, Jennifer Lawerence, she's spunky. Let's have her
That
play
was-
a character where we change her hair a whole bunch and she just keeps being spunky.
That was that same guy that did
And it was annoying.
American Hustle.
I guess I was more annoyed with the fact that they were overly typecasting her.
Yes.
More so than I was annoyed with her as an actress. I think that she probably has a larger range than they're allowing.
Well,
her.
and Mother also.
What about that?
It's really bad, but she did fine in it.
She did fine. That's what I'm saying. So I think that she has a larger range than people are allowing her to use. So I'm interested to see what else she brings to the table. I'm not going to count her out just yet. She's younger than me. So
Yeah.
she's got plenty of years left in her.
Yeah, and actually,
In her
and this
acting
one kind of seems like it might be something, just based on
It looks
the
interesting.
trailer
I'm
and
interested in it.
the thing that is really good about it is that. So, the trailer doesn't seem super exciting. Like, the trailer
No.
doesn't get you excited.
but it does
when
pique your interest, right?
But when you listen to the trailer and hear the story that's happening, that kind of makes you like, oh, I kind of want to see this.
So you say that because I was playing it one day and you weren't watching. And you're
right.
like,
And
oh, that sounds interesting.
I saw it on...
You saw the first trailer. This is the second
yeah, I
one.
saw the teaser trailer, and I was just like,
No,
this looks
seriously,
dull.
this... Okay, so... It looks like a spy movie in the way that Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was a spy movie, and in the way that Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a spy movie. Give me another one.
It's kind of Jason Bourne-y.
No, that's what it's not.
No, the
is what I'm
story
saying.
is.
No, what I'm saying is it's one of those
Somebody-
spy
an
movies that's not an
organization-
action movie.
An organization creates a weapon.
I see what you're saying.
scorns
I'm not
that
talking,
weapon,
I'm not talking story.
and then the weapon gets revenge.
I'm not talking story. I'm talking feel. Like you were saying, it doesn't necessarily look like it's
Oh,
going to be an
yeah.
action movie. So I
Yeah,
would
it feels a
I
lot
would-
like Tinker Tailor
Tinker
Soldier
Tailor
Spy.
Soldier Spy. Also, though, Man
Stick
from
an
Uncle.
apple in your eye.
Because Man from Uncle has some action, and this will have some action.
But
She's
Man from
gonna kill
Uncle is
couple
like a
people.
super fun.
It's
like,
super funny.
It's a romp.
So, but if you take the humor out, though, the pacing is kind of slow, and it's interesting like this.
Man
There's
from
like
Uncle
twists and turns in it.
is another American actor doing a Russian spy.
Man from Uncle is the biggest shock of my life.
Wow.
Okay.
The biggest?
Of all the movies I've ever seen, I misjudged that one the most. I was like, ugh.
I think I did that with 21
I was like,
Jump Street.
Charlie's family wants to watch this, so I'm going to watch it because we're here visiting, so let's watch it. I did not want to watch
Guy
it.
Ritchie.
And then like 2 minutes in, I was like, this is good.
That's because Guy Ritchie's awesome.
And then 10 minutes in, I was like, laughing my butt off.
Uh-oh. Where'd it
It
go?
was great. But anyway, here's the thing. So we both saw Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Charlie and I. We saw it in a small theater in Columbia, Missouri, Ragtag Cinema. What? But we were both bored to death, right?
Yeah, it was
I
dull.
was. But I remember when we left it, I felt bad because we had just started dating. And I remember thinking like halfway during it, probably even 3/4 the way during it, I was like, oh my gosh, when is this going to end? And then I was thinking, I feel so bad for making Charlie come see this movie at this like fancy theater, this like artsy theater, and it's this artsy, long, slow movie. But then when we left, you were like, that was awesome.
Yeah,
so I think that's the
because
thing, is it is awesome.
It's one of those movies that is super slow the whole time and then wraps up
What happens,
really
you're
quick
like,
at the
whoa.
end.
Yeah, everything that actually happens at the end, you're like, that was cool.
And so right when you leave, you're just like, whoa, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then when you think
But then
about it
you're
later,
like,
that was
gosh, I spent almost 3 hours there.
that was pretty much 2 hours of dull.
3 hours. I think it was almost 3 hours, and it was literally like, I feel like there was a scene where somebody was looking through a scope
That was at the
for
very
just
end.
forever. I feel like they just
Spoiler alert, someone looks through a scope.
But the point is, so you could have a movie like this, it could end up like that,
Here, before
where it's too slow.
we move on to the next thing, let me tell you who the director is.
Okay.
The director's name is Francis Lawrence.
Okay.
No relation to Jennifer Lawrence. And he directed the last 3 Hunger Games movies
Nice.
and also directed I Am Legend. Will Smith.
Legend. I like that movie
That's a good movie.
a lot. Saw it, I think, like 6
And he's also done a
times.
ton of music videos.
I saw it 3 times in theater, and I've seen it many more times
Like-
on my own.
Pop music videos from
Okay.
way back. He did like a bunch of Britney Spears music videos.
Well, all I'm saying is it could end up being like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and that would probably not be good, because even though that movie had some good things, you shouldn't be bored halfway during the movie looking at your watch.
I think you'll be bored during the first half of this.
But
honestly,
it could end up being more like Man from Uncle pacing wise, where I think the pacing in that was really good. However, it did help that there was humor, and I don't think there's going to be humor in this. At least not a lot.
no, it doesn't. No,
Doesn't
at
look like
all.
it. They're not hinting at it.
And that
at
might
all.
be its downfall.
That
is that
might
there's
be. That's what I'm
absolutely
saying.
none.
Well, because
but
there's really not much in Tinker Tailor either.
there's very little in the Bourne movies also.
You're right, but that's just
But
so
there's
fantastic
a lot
that
of
it
action.
doesn't matter.
So kind of.
It's just so, those movies are on another level.
But what this movie I think is going to be is just going to be a lot of people lying to each other, and you, the
It's going to be all about
viewer,
deceit.
having to figure out who is telling
Twists
the truth
and turns.
and being excited about who's
Who
going
can
to.
I trust?
Yep. Okay. Let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this.
Let's do it.
Where? When? How?
Are you going to see this movie?
All right, so I have a question for you before I answer.
I just asked you 3 questions.
I know, I have a question before we answer those 3 questions.
Wow, 4 questions?
Okay.
Seems like a lot of
Do
questions.
you know when this is being released? What
March
month?
2nd of this year.
Okay, so it's that affects whether or not I see it in theater. That's always true. March, not a huge movie month. So it is very possible that I will see this in theaters.
Really?
It looks good to me. Now, if the reviews start rolling in and they're just smashing it and it has under 50%, I'm not going to see it in theater. Unless I have some extreme reason to see a movie and ignore what the critics are saying, if it's under 50%, it's probably bad. But if it's over 50%, I might go see it in theater because it's March. Not much is going on. I think it looks interesting, and I like spy movies a lot. I think I like them more than the average person, like
And
the slow
also,
spy movies.
Yeah, which is
methodical
cool. Which, by
ones.
the way, we should watch some of the older ones.
Well, when
that
you
we
think
haven't
about
seen.
James Bond, like the new ones with Daniel Craig, they're really slow. It's not a lot of action. It's just that when the action's going, it's really intense.
Yeah. But what was I just gonna say? Oh, I want Jennifer Lawrence to succeed.
Oh, good. Me too, actually.
Like, I'm not
Me too.
anti Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
well,
I
for
don't
a
want
while
her
there,
to
you
fail.
seemed like it,
Well,
but I believe you.
You know how those things are.
You
It's
get
when,
sick of
when
them in the
someone,
moment.
When the overwhelming majority of people love something and you don't care, then you end up hating that thing.
Well, it's like a song that's been played too many times that you used to like, and then somebody turns it on and you're like, oh, God.
but it's
And
like
then they're like, oh, you hate that song? You're like, no, I don't hate it. I just really don't want to hear it right now.
in a vacuum, with
Yeah.
no other opinions, I would have no negative opinion of Jennifer Lawrence. I would just be like, someone else should have played Mystique / they should have wrote it differently.
And they shouldn't have wrote the movie Joy.
Well, yeah.
That just
But
looked bad.
who cares? A lot of
Yeah,
my
whatever.
favorite actors
Exactly.
have been in terrible
yeah,
movies.
I agree. So I hope good things happen to her too. I think that
And
she's
so
good.
I
think
want
she has
this
a
to be
lot
good.
Of potential.
That being said, I probably won't see it in theater.
Okay.
Unless it's really slow and literally nothing's happening and we are just, want to
Well, yeah, I mean, who knows what's going on in our lives?
but-
We don't always have to go to the theater every month.
What I was going to
We
say
don't.
was that I think that you should see this. I think it'll come out on Amazon Prime. I don't know why, but some
It
movies
feels
seem
like a Prime movie.
some movies feel like they're going to Amazon Prime and some of them feel like they're going
Yeah.
to Netflix.
I feel you.
And so I don't know, but I feel like it's going to go on Amazon Prime.
Comedies
and
go to Netflix.
I would watch it on Amazon
Spy movies go
Prime,
to Prime.
but I would only watch it when I'm already in a bad or gloomy mood.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Because I feel like this movie, if you were in a good mood and like a happy mood,
Could bring it down.
you literally wouldn't enjoy it because of how heavy it is.
I could see watching it when
And
I'm
there's
in
a lot of weird, forced sexual stuff going on in this as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's the worst part of the trailer is when she starts to try and seduce the American. And it's just cliche.
The
but
last three
they're
movies.
like kissing and they do the over exaggerated sound of the sigh, of the sexual sigh where she's like, oh.
The last three
I'm like,
movies
no.
that she's been in, the trailers,
Yeah.
have had that. This movie has had that, Mother has had that, and Passengers had that. Exact same thing. Exact same
Yeah.
angle.
So maybe the next director that works with her, try
I
something
mean,
new.
let's be honest. That
Try something
swimsuit
a little
was
new.
enough.
Exactly. And the over exaggerated sigh though, it was way too forced. Like you said, it was awkward.
It was part of the
But I think
music.
it was-
part of the music
yeah,
that was happening.
but it was come on.
It's like when they sync up gunshots to the music.
Yeah, but they did a bad job.
Instead, they
It
sync
made
up
it
her
seem super
sexual
cheesy. That was the
moaning.
worst part of the trailer, is all I'm saying. But okay, I think that it would be a good movie for if you're bored. If you're bored, you're
that's
just like,
similar.
nothing sounds good. Because the thing is, most of the time, I don't feel like I'm in the mood for a spy movie.
And then also, you're already bored. So if you're bored, no big loss.
Well, it's I don't feel like I'm in the mood for a spy movie. It just somehow it turns on and then I'm watching it.
but you said that you love them more than the average movie.
Look, I guess it depends. I guess maybe I am in the mood sometimes.
We should look up a list of top spy movies and then just we
You
did
know,
with Jackie Chan.
I was gonna say the one time we've told ourselves to look up a list and go through them, it was Jackie
It was
Chan,
one of
and
the-
it was
one of the better experiences of my life.
I feel like I still haven't had enough. We got to get through more of
we
those.
gotta get Project A and Rumble in the Bronx. Those are the last two we need to do.
All right, we've digressed. So next,
Next is Rotten Tomatoes percentages guessing times.
all right.
Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
Hey yo.
Oh, what was that?
I was just gonna say before we get started, I guess y'all can tell that we haven't done this in a while because we're digressing so much. We're getting on little tangents. We're excited.
We're saying, hey, yo.
Yeah, I think we're excited to be back. I'm excited.
Pumped.
Why don't you go ahead and start with what you think this will get?
Okay. I will say that I didn't really think about it at all. But just going off the seat of my pants right now, I would say that this movie, from critics, and this is just assuming that it'll be good, right?
Okay.
Because it
Hope high.
could be one of those things where it's it could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
it
obviously.
could get a 12.
It's hard to know right now.
But I'm going to be optimistic and say that it will get a 74%
Okay.
from critics and a 79% from audience.
Okay, well, I like I Am Legend. It's one of my favorite movies. I would put it top 20 movies of all time in my opinion.
Hey, but Hunger
So-
Games and I Am Legend also based on books, so this guy knows what he's doing with that.
Oh, did he do Hunger Games too?
Yeah.
Did I miss
He
that?
he did the last 3 Hunger
Oh
Games
yeah,
movies.
and I like those. I don't care what
those are
anybody else
better
says.
than well, no, they're not better than
Well,
the first one, but
Yeah, I think they are.
I think if they would have
The
combined
first
last
one was just so good because it was the first one.
if they would have been able to combine the last two into one movie, I think
Yeah.
that one would have been better than the first one.
Sure. Well, all I was gonna say is I like those things. I think he'll do a good job, but I think that this type of a movie is gonna be held to a high scrutiny with critics. I think it's gonna get a 67%.
Okay. I mean
Because,
that's
like you said,
normal.
it's been done before.
And I think that's what
It's
Man from
a
Uncle
spy
got
story.
or something similar
No, I
to
think
that.
Man from Uncle got pretty high.
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think audiences will like it more. I think they'll give it an 80%.
Wow.
Yeah, just a big gap there.
Wait, what? So you said 67 and 80?
Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. We're no expert on Rotten Tomatoes scores, and really nobody can be because people are so unpredictable. Even critics, when you read what they have to say, you might have an idea what they like and what they don't.
Even a great movie like Star Wars: The Last Jedi might get some crazy low score from audience that you weren't
Yeah,
expecting.
that's all I'm saying. And I'm glad that Charlie went there because that's where I was going. I'm just saying, people are unpredictable. You can't ever have an expert guess on what they're going to do. We're just going off of what we think based on the trailer. But sometimes movies are just like phenomenal and you have a really great time and you're like, that was awesome. And then you go and you check the score and you're like, what? What?
Well, and even the movie we just watched, The Circle, was, I feel, treated unfairly.
Yeah, even though it wasn't great.
Right.
It was
but you know
so
what?
low.
That's
The
what
score
it
was
is
so
because
low.
Rotten Tomatoes is basically, was it good or was it bad? And then
Sure.
it takes that aggregate and combines it into a percentage.
Yeah, sure.
And
And I
so
get that, but even still, after
A
all
movie
these
like
years,
a movie like The Circle is a perfect example because it was basically right at that 50% mark.
yeah,
And
that's
so
a good point.
maybe it was, and actually it was probably more of at like the 48.
Most people probably would have given it like a 48.
Yeah, like if
Ended
you were
up getting
forced
like
to
a
choose, you would
32.
probably be like, yeah, it's not very good. But it's right in the middle there.
Yeah, but anyway,
Red Sparrow. I
Red
hope
Sparrow
that it's good.
Looks good to me.
And also, I kind of hope that it ends on a cliffhanger because it seems like one of those like Bourne that would
It would be kind of awesome if we had a
advance
new
into a new thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was
spy
watching
trilogy.
it. Like, I would be
Like
really
if it
excited.
is good, then I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, I would be really excited
Because the
if
thing
that's what
is-
her thing became.
Yeah, the thing is, I love the Bourne movies. I love them. However,
We haven't seen the last one.
I haven't seen the last one, and
Or
I
the one
haven't
with Jeremy
seen
Renner.
the Legacy one. But I heard the Legacy one was stupid and unnecessary, and just kind of went like out of the realm of what it should. Like it kind of got all weird and like.
I heard that there were
mystically-
superhuman pills
Yeah.
involved.
And that's dumb. That's not what this
Like
is.
in Wonder
you know?
Woman where he cracks open the thing and sniffs it.
And then Jason Bourne didn't get a great score. But the thing I can say is those first three were perfect. They never needed to do any more. However, I'm still gonna eventually watch Jason Bourne because I love
We
it
have
so
it.
much.
Did you know that?
No.
When I opened a account
You got it for
on
free?
Movies Anywhere, I got it for free.
Shoot.
Or everywhere.
Well, yeah, so we want to watch that. But the thing is, I love those movies. But they never needed to make a Jason Bourne. What they should have done instead was make this or some other spy movie. Like, when you make 3 just flawless movies
that guy who
and
wrote
you
those
wrap it up just perfectly,
that guy who wrote those
don't
Jason
keep going.
that guy who wrote those Jason Bourne books
Yeah.
has written like 15 of them.
Yeah. I think I've looked this up before. I don't know if it's the same person.
Well, there's been a few written by other people,
Yeah.
but he wrote a bunch more.
Well, anyway,
After he
but all I'm
finished the other
saying,
ones.
though, is when you write a perfect trilogy, that almost never happens. When you write a perfect trilogy and you wrap it up in the third one, yeah, you leave a little bit of a cliffhanger, but in the way that you can still have it be ending, you know?
Yeah.
Just stop. When you've reached perfection, just stop because something else can go on and be awesome like
You're right.
this.
So the guy who wrote the first Bourne books.
Yeah.
He wrote 3. Identity, Supremacy,
Yeah.
Ultimatum.
And then somebody else.
And then Eric Van Lustbader,
Oh.
which is definitely not how you pronounce that, went on to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more.
So
my
how'd
God.
he get the rights to that? Did this guy die, or
I don't think so.
how do you get the rights to just write
Did you die,
on
Robert Ludlum?
from somebody
Yes,
else's book?
he did in
Okay, that's what I
2001.
thought. Okay, that's what I thought. That's exactly what
Whoa.
I thought. So okay, I see. You gotta trust me on these things. When I love the Bourne movies, and in the past on
And
this
I
podcast,
love making wild accusations that have no
But
bearing in reality.
in the past on this podcast, I have said something about the Bourne movies that I was like super certain about, and you doubted me, and you looked it up, and I was right.
What was it?
I don't know, but like the thing is, I pull these facts out of the back of my brain because at some point in my life I've studied it
Right
and
out
I've
of
read about it, and
back
I
of your
know all
butt.
about Bourne, and then I just pull it out of nowhere. It's back there. It's a part of me. But anyway, I would love for
Were you
a
born
cool
with it?
female spy movie. I think we were really hoping that Atomic Blonde could be a Bourne type movie.
We never saw
We
it.
haven't seen it, and we're going to see it. We definitely want to see it. It got like 60-something%.
Yeah, something like that.
High enough that I definitely want to see it. But from what I've heard, even if it's not like terrible, I don't think it could go on to be a Bourne type movie.
I will say
This
though
might.
that her Russian accent
Yeah.
might be a reason why that doesn't happen.
Because people don't like it, or
Because it's not, you have to think about it. It's just like when people who have to do like sign language or something, it's like not fluid because you have to think about it.
yeah, but lots of people do accents for lots of movies. Like lots of British people do American accents continuously.
Yeah, I didn't even know Christian Bale was British
Yeah, it still blows my mind.
because the first time I saw
So
him was
that's
in
all
the
I'm
Batman
saying. I mean, if
movies.
she's good at it and if she can handle it, and they have speech coaches and stuff that help them, she's still speaking English.
I did see a lot of people who were saying, why not a Russian actress?
Yeah, sure, but why not an American actress? Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says that when you have like, is Emily Blunt British?
Yes.
When you have Emily Blunt playing an American, nobody's ever like, oh, why not an American actress? And I get it because there's plenty of American
Yeah,
actresses.
it's just
That's
like when
why.
they whitewash one of these anime
Yeah.
remakes. It's just like, hey, white people need opportunities too, right?
All I'm saying is, yeah, like it's dumb. It's dumb because, it's like when they made the Flame On guy, Michael B.
Flame On,
Jordan.
Michael
and
B.
people were like,
Jordan.
what? Well, why not choose a white guy? That character's white. It's like, who cares, right? But that's kind of what I'm saying about this too, though, is who cares?
Well, yeah, but they chose Jennifer Lawrence because Jennifer Lawrence is famous and an actress who is
and
a famous
good,
actress.
though. I mean, you've gotta assume that some people casting movies are casting them based on who's good, and I hope that
It
that's
also
true.
probably has a lot to do with this director because he did those last 3 Hunger Games movies.
Yeah, he knows her. He knows how to work with her. Do it, man.
Do it, man.
Do it, and I hope it's good.
All right. Well, let's see. I hope that it's good. And I hope that it becomes something. And I hope that it's Jennifer Lawrence's kind of break away from Hunger Games.
The typecasting. Of,
The typecasting of
Yeah.
her. Yeah. And also, one of my New Year's resolutions is to make the plugs part of this shorter. So I'm just going to do a few.
no.
I'm
I
just
love
gonna-
the plugs.
I'm just going to do a few.
But I was going to ask you.
What was the ask?
I was going to say, we always say it would help us if you guys go and rate and review us on iTunes. And I was going to say, what they do on Lore is they tell them exactly where to go to do that. iTunes.
I don't know where to
/. Okay, so that's one of my New Year's resolutions.
Just find that out.
We're going to tell people how they can rate and review us. But for those of you who know, please rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah, and follow our social medias, Instagram at Movie Trailer Trash, Twitter at MTT Podcast, Facebook Movie Trailer Trash
Podcast.
and then also, rate and review and all of that stuff. And also go to Entertainment Buffet's channel on YouTube and subscribe to
course.
their channel and
They're
follow
friends
them
of
on Twitter
ours.
as well.
They do good stuff. Sometimes we're on their stuff. Sometimes they're on ours.
Yeah, it's like a whole,
Listen,
crossover. We're a
Charlie-
regular Arrowverse over here.
Yeah. Listen, Charlie's been apparently making New Year's resolutions for himself that affect me and the podcast.
So now here's 15 more minutes
So,
of Bethany plugging things.
Nope, that's not true. But I'm just saying you never know what's going to happen. So happy New Year, folks. We will see you soon. And get ready for the 2017 Trashy Awards.
Yeah, those will happen at some point.
And our top 5 movies of the year will be coming up soon.
Yeah, both of those things.
Get excited. Tell your friends.
Red Sparrow!
Bye.